Hey students, thank you so much for joining us for Elevate Online. Tonight we're going to be continuing our series, More Like Jesus, and Pastor Tim's going to be unpacking the 3 P's of discipline. It's easy, tangible, something that you can start tonight. So grab your Bible, grab some paper, grab something to write with, and let's lean in and grow together. But real quick, before he starts, I'm excited to announce that next week we'll be starting back with Elevate on Wednesday night. We can't wait to see you in person.
So guys, tonight we're going to be talking about your favorite word, discipline. It's going to be incredible. You're going to love this because discipline is a necessary part of life. Whether it be you're trying to eat healthy, whether you're trying to become a better athlete, or whether you're trying to become more like Jesus. It all requires discipline. And the reason why is because none of you, unless you're odd, wake up in the mornings and say, I just want to drink a kale smoothie. This is going to be incredible. And none of you think in the afternoons after school, I just cannot wait to run wind sprints. They're going to be so much fun. And none of you, when you get home after a long, exhausting day, think studying history for 3 hours is the best use of my time right now. Now, you do those things, though, if you're disciplined. You eat healthy, you exercise hard, and you study if you have discipline. And the same is true in our Christian walk when it comes to developing these spiritual disciplines like prayer, Bible reading, and even fasting. They require us to practice some certain things. And tonight we're going to look at the 3 P's of discipline. These are 3 things that you need to know, but also apply if you want to be able to practice eating healthy, or if you want to even be able to practice your spiritual discipline. So let's take a look at these. And if you got your Bible, I encourage you to open up to Mark chapter 1, verse 35, because we see Jesus practicing these 3 P's. But before we jump in, as you're turning there, let me go ahead and give you what they are really quick. P number 1 is this, is that you need to have a purposeful time. You need to have a purposeful time. Number 2 is that you need to have a place. And number 3 is you need to have a plan. And we see Jesus doing all 3 of these in Mark chapter 1, verse 35. And it reads this way. Before daybreak, the next morning, Jesus got up and went out to an isolated place to pray. Short, simple, to the point. But what we see in this verse is that Jesus had a time, it says before daybreak, when he was going to get alone. And we see that he went to a place, it says an isolated place, and he had a plan, and that was to pray. So let's look at these 3 things. So let's break them down really quickly about how you can begin to apply these 3 things in your life. Number 1 is that you need a purposeful time. You need a time set aside throughout your day where you're going to get alone with God. Whether it be to pray, whether it be to spend time doing your Bible reading. You need to have a specific time set aside for it. And it needs to be a time where you're awake, where you're alert, where you're not falling asleep or anything like that. It needs to be a specific time where you're at your best. And it needs to be something that you set reminders for. So maybe you take out your phone and you set a reminder on your phone to alert you, hey, it is whatever time I need to get alone with God during this time. Set those times. Like for me, I've got a set time every single day where I get alone, where I get away, where I move the distractions, and it's every single day that I meet with God at that exact same time. And so, the things you need to understand out of this, though, is that we will only prioritize the things that we value most. We will only prioritize the things that we value most. So, if we truly value time with God, you're going to prioritize it. And the opposite is true as well. If you prioritize or you value Netflix, you're going to make time for it. And so what you need to do is you need to have, just like Jesus, a set time to get alone with Him. Point number 2 is that you need a place where you can be alone, a place that's free of distractions, and a place where you are able to focus. This means that you need to have a place where you're not going to have your little brother like running through the room throwing Cheetos at you. It needs to be a place where you're not going to be distracted by maybe the TV, or it also needs to be a place where maybe you can just leave your phone away so that those notifications and that temptation to jump on social media just isn't there. And so whatever place it is, it needs to be a place where you are able to focus. Because ultimately, the place that you choose doesn't really matter as long as it enables you to be alone, be free from distractions, and helps you focus. Point number 3 is that you need a plan. Every serious athlete has a plan for how they're going to eat, for how they're going to work out, and even for how they're going to train. And when it comes to practicing the spiritual disciplines, there's not much of a difference. We need to have a plan for how we're going to study the Bible, what type of fast we're going to do, and for how long. We need to have a plan for how we're going to spend time in prayer. Are we going to journal our prayers? Are we going to have a written list of prayers? Or whatever it is, the discipline that you're trying to develop, you need a plan. And I want you to know, in the description below, you can find a whole list of different plans, whether it be a Bible reading plan, a way to pray, or even how to fast. There's different plans, all that are listed down below in the description. So I encourage you to check those out. As we wrap up, I want you to think through these 3 things. When can I get alone with God? What's my purposeful time when I can get alone with God? Second thing, where can you go? Where can you go that you can be alone, be free of distractions, be free and able to focus, and you can actually be alone? Where can you go? And then lastly, what's your plan when you get there? What are you going to do? Are you going to spend time in prayer? Are you going to spend time reading your Bible? Whenever you decide to do that, what are you going to do when you get to those moments? When it comes to developing the spiritual disciplines, we need to practice these 3 things. Have a purposeful time, a place, but also a plan. Because these are key when it comes to disciplining ourselves to become more like Jesus. Guys, I hope that these 3 things have helped you out. If you want to see more videos, you can click down below. And there's all types of videos that will help you develop a plan. There's also all types of links that are going to enable you to be able to be successful as we seek to become more like Jesus.